welcome back to Construction Business TV, Idaho Falls, Idaho. My name's Tyson. I'm your video journalist for CBTV Idaho, and this is episode 13 of the, I've been calling it a couple of different things, the Mountain America series, the Idaho Falls Auditorium series. We kind of mix back and forth between the two. I'm joined here with Malone Bullock, with Rob Spear, and with Eric, last name is? Hudson, that's right, Eric Hudson, General Manager of the Mountain America Event Center, the Idaho Falls Auditorium District, and with Bateman-Hall. Did I get it all right?
Yes.
Had flashcards. And I'm with CBTV Idaho, episode 13. What are we going to be looking at today?
Well, Tyson, a lot's happened since that ice pour. As you were on site when we did the ice rink pour, and so much has happened since then. And so we'll have Malone Bullock talk a little bit about it, Eric Hudson, of course. But today we're going to focus on a couple key areas. One is we want to get in there and show the viewers the lapendary panels that are up in the ceilings and the importance of those. We also want to go in and show the progress in the banquet room with the carpet being installed. Give the viewers an opportunity to view a locker room with the Mondo flooring and the tile being installed. And then I think it's important to get up on that suite level and look at, now we can actually see what the Loge boxes are starting to look like. All the suites are framed in, and then we'll conclude it with the nice sign on the exterior that leads into the facility. So I know that the people are excited to see this episode about Hero Arena at the Mountain America Center. So let's go. Here we are in Hero Arena in Malone. One of the big reasons that we had to have this ice floor cure for 28 days was because there's a significant amount of activity that needed to take place once this floor was cured. So tell us about all the subcontractors working in this bowl area right now.
So right now, I guess some of the key players that we got in here, we've got to finish up some overhead work, and one of the biggest ones is the lapendary panels, which is like a sound absorbent panel that's kind of hung like a drape. So that's going to help absorb some of the sound when a lot of activity takes place in here, and a lot of excitement is going to happen about different concerts. So they're in here working, and they're working coherently with our fire sprinkler guy to modify sprinkler heads to fit in with a certain grid pattern to meet certain code requirements in the facility. Okay. So then we're also got our our railing crew in here that's working on the railing around the bowl and also part of the suites. Then our painters being here working, trying to paint some of that. And
the one thing that I failed to mention, I said 5 things today, there's actually 6. It's this telescopic seating
that's another one of our milestones. Yeah, we got telescopic seating going in that's going right up to the dashboard where you're doing for a hockey game. So we got the 3-row telescopic seating starting, and here in a couple of weeks we'll be doing the bigger section towards the west end of this facility.
So Eric, I know you've been working long hours getting events scheduled in here, and one of the significant pieces of your job is to get the right concerts in here.
Yep.
And a lot of different genres. So tell us a little bit about the importance of those lapendary panels and what it means for a group looking at renting Hero Arena at Mountain America Center.
Yeah, I mean, it's a key aspect for us. We don't want the sound to bounce off the metal panels, obviously. So we need to protect those panels with that lapendary system so the acoustics sound fantastic when a band plays. There's going to be $30,000 worth of audio production hung for each concert, and so the Tectum panels, the lapendaries, and just the other acoustical modifications made to the building are extremely important for big concerts.
Well, the thing that struck me as we walked in here today is you can get a feel now with the telescopic seating going to be right next to the dashboards, and as a hockey guy like you are, doesn't that excite you a little bit to see how really intimate it's going to be for a hockey game?
Yeah, 2 things about these telescopic seats. They allow us to get the fans up close and personal with the action, but the seats are actually a really good, comfortable size. Very, very comfortable for anybody that wants to sit in them, and if we need to move the seats back for a larger event, it's just a push of a button for each panel, and the retractable seats will move back. And we can do anything that'll fit on the floor, which is 27,000 square feet.
And that 27,000 square feet in time will be used entirely depending on the event. And so having the ability to fold those telescopics back easily is going to help you with your conversion. Questions I get is, well, how long is it going to take you to convert this facility from a hockey game to a concert?
That's a good question, and we're going to do some video footage of that, but it's about 6 hours. So we're gonna, the minute a concert ends, 11 o'clock, everybody's out of the facility. We're gonna start pulling the stage, pulling the floor up, getting the seats back, and it'll be about 6 hours, and we'll have ice ready for the very next day.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like a very efficient, hard work, obviously, but very efficient process with your group. Well, let's head into the banquet center and see what's new there. Here we are outside the Blue Cross of Idaho conference room. And Malone, a lot has taken place here. It's kind of fun to start to see some of the finishings going on. So tell us what you see back there.
So kind of behind us here, Rob, we can kind of tell we got some of the carpet going on in the main area. And also we got it mostly painted, the ceiling's dropped in. So this space is getting really close to being finished. There's still a little fine tuning we still gotta do. We gotta finish the floor, we gotta finish the wall covering that goes around. There's also the folding panel partitions that still have to get installed. So that's upcoming in the next couple of weeks. So we're hoping to have this side of this facility done here in the upcoming weeks in September here pretty soon.
Pretty exciting, and I know, Eric, you got to feel good about this because this is a big piece of your job here is to rent out the Blue Cross of Idaho Conference Center. And I know that you recently brought on a new member, and she's hit the ground running, and so there's a lot of interest in the Blue Cross of Idaho Conference Center.
Yeah, Angie Freer comes to us. She's a local of Idaho Falls, and she's got a lot of excitement and energy she brings with her. This space is going to be probably the most utilized space in the whole building, and it's got the AV equipment that's state of the art with the ceiling mounted projectors in all 3 rooms, the LED lights, the pulse sound audio that's going in here, and the flexibility of this space too with the floating walls allows us to divide it into 6 thirds, halves, 2/3, and a full conference space, which is really exciting.
Exciting times. Well, one of the questions I always get asked is people are coming through this facility and they see all the concrete and they know we're going to have a hockey team, and they're saying, well, how are the hockey players going to navigate through a concrete floor? Well, you're going to find out. Well, here we are on one of the 6 locker rooms in Hero Arena at the Mountain America Center, and now the viewer's going to finally get your answer about how these hockey players are going to navigate through the facility, and it's the installation of what you have in your hand, Eric. Tell us a little bit about this.
This is Mondo flooring, and it's a specialized rubber flooring. It lasts a long time, 20 years I've seen it last in some of my facilities. But it's nice for the sharp skates that are walking on the ice or on the concrete. Essentially, to have this, it'll keep the skates nice and sharp. It'll also protect against any dirt, dust, anything like that getting in the blades. But it's a nice floor too for our green rooms. And obviously, these locker rooms are going to be used much more than just hockey players.
Yeah, and the green room is for?
It's hospitality for our artists. And
exactly.
When our artists come to town, we have 6 of these rooms that we can utilize, and as well as that conference center space. But the artists are going to really, really enjoy it, and it's very important to have flooring like this all throughout the locker room area.
Malone, this is probably, you guys, Bateman-Hall and Hogan have done such a wonderful job of sequencing and coordinating everything. This is a great example because you have to get your tile in, then you got to get your Mondo flooring in, and then the tilers have to come back and finish it up. So how's the sequencing and coordination going?
It's a lot of coordination and trying to see what comes before the egg and what stops before. So like you said, we got to do the tile in the showers first, but then there's also tile base that has to go in, and talking with the Mondo installer and the tile guy, how can they get that material underneath there? We had to wait to do the tile base until after the Mondo flooring in. So they did what they can, they have to leave to another section, then come back. So it's just a lot of leapfrogging and coordination with everybody to complete their scope of work. They can't just come and do a room, bust out and be done. It's a lot of come back and forth.
We made a lot of progress, almost have all the 6 locker rooms done, and then probably next week they'll get over into the home team locker room.
That's correct. So we're hoping to start doing the home team locker room, getting that done, and here probably the next episode you'll actually see hopefully the lockers in some of these locker rooms.
Well, let's head up top and see some of the progress on the suites and the Loge boxes. Okay, here we are upstairs mezzanine level. It's now called the Silver Star Sky Deck. So
Yeah.
great thanks to our sponsor, Silver Star Communications. Malone, just looking around here, we just talked about sequencing down below, but there's a lot going on up here.
Yeah, so up here, you can kind of see where we're looking at. We're got most of all the suites. We've already been framed on the last episode, but now we got them all sheetrock. They're all ready for painting, so that's all coming here in the next few weeks. But right behind us, this is where you mentioned before, where the Loge sheeting is going to be. So Loge is, like you said, similar to a suite, but it's just a half wall. So you still get some of that private division, but it's not a full wall. And also above us a little bit, it's hard to tell, but there's a blackout curtain that comes behind all these, where you do get the blackout from all the lights from the suite level when during an event or concerts, or those are going. So with that, there's been a lot of coordination to make sure they have the spot to hanger it with the HVC duct, the pipe overhead. It's been a lot of coordination just up here to fit everything above the ceiling to give everybody room and make sure everything works according to plans.
Well, the blackout curtains are certainly going to provide some intimacy for the Loge box holders as well as some of the other club level seating. Eric, one of the questions I get is, all your premium seating is really on one side of this arena, but there's a reason for that.
Yeah, I mean, as you look behind us, you can see that side of the facility is really set up for our stage. And we want our premium seat holders to have the best view possible when they're watching a concert. But also, realistically, the hockey team's going to attack this in twice, and we want all of our fans cheering against the opposing team's goaltender and the team, and it just gives it a better overall feel. Obviously, on top of that, there really isn't a bad seat in the whole Hero Arena at the Mountain America Center, so we're very excited about
Well,
that.
actually, a great tidbit on hockey. I know I'm anxious to learn more about it, but it makes total sense where our home team is going to be on this side, at least 2 of those 3 periods. So last thing we'll talk about today is very exciting to finally see some exterior signage going up, and it's the exterior sign that you're going to see. It's a Mountain America Center with their great Eagle logo, and then as we evolve, you'll see some additional signage from some of our other sponsors. So let's head outside. Okay, exciting week for Mountain America Center, especially with the exterior signage going up. Malone, I know that's another big milestone as well to get that exterior signage up, but there's also additional signage going up in all the entryways, and I want to shout out to our partner Hero Arena, Hero Meat Snacks, because these entryways are going to be named Hero Arena.
Yeah, that's correct. So there's a lot of exterior signage on this building. So one of the first ones we did is 148 feet long, and that was the Mountain America Center. So there's 2 of those on this facility, and there's actually a smaller one on the east side. And like you already mentioned earlier, we got the Hero Meat Snack signs at all the main entrances into the bowl. And there'll also be some decals on each of the storefront glasses too. And we got 2 for the Idaho Blue Cross Banquet Hall as well.
Yeah, we do. Thank you, Malone, for mentioning that, because that will have its own separate entryway. Eric, very significant as we bring patrons in here is we have 2 nice ticket box office locations.
Yeah, a facility of this size, it really helps with ingress and accessibility for our fans to come in, purchase tickets quickly, and get in and not miss a minute of the action. So, the Bingham Healthcare box office is located at both main entrances. They'll be open Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, and all event days to service our customers and get them the tickets they want for their events.
What's happened since our last episode is we had our first event announcement.
Yes.
Now, not first event, but first event announcement. And so, Eric, tell us how ticket sales have gone with that first event announcement.
Mannheim Steamroller is a classical live performance, and we expected a good response. We're actually sold out of our show, and hopefully everybody has a great time at that event. And it's come December 13th. It'll be quite the spectacle.
Outstanding. Tyson, I think that's about a wrap for Construction Business TV for this episode.
I would say so. Is there, what we always do is, what can we look forward to in the next 30 days up to episode 14?
Well, I know there's a lot of work that has to be done over 90 days, but in the next 30 days, I think there's no one better position to tell us what's happening over the next 30 days than Malone Bullock here. Malone, so what's happening next?
I would say the biggest one, you'll see the biggest change outside the building is we'll see a little more signage on there. But hopefully in the next 30 days, all parking lots will be paved out.
Oh, wow.
For all this facility in the next 30 days, and we'll start working on some of the landscaping finishes also during that time. Then inside, we'll be working on doing some more finishes and start doing more sheetrocking along the concourse for all the concessions and the box offices.
There's probably a chance to start seeing some of the permanent seating be installed.
And the permanent seating, while that'll be coming in as well, we'll start seeing more of the fixed seating in the month of September.
That gives us plenty to look forward to. So that's going to do it for this week's edition month's edition of the Mount America Event Center Series, episode 13. We look forward to being back here for episode 14. My name is Tyson. I'm your video journalist for Construction Business TV Idaho. We want to thank you guys again so much for your time and your support, your viewership, and your subscriptions. We're well past 1,000 subscribers now. We've become, I think, a big staple in the community for construction news. I think that we've filled that niche really well here. We're always looking to fill it up even more. So if you have any if you notice any projects, any construction projects in your area that you'd like to know more about, you can comment below the video and we can look into it for you. If you own or operate a contractor business, construction, home development, trades of any kind, and you're interested in partnering with Construction Business TV as a sponsor, reach out and we can have that discussion as well, because we are actively looking for sponsors at this time. Thank you guys again so much for your time. You drive safe. Eric, the camera's rolling. Look busy.